Hey everyone, it's Sam here. I've been a member of Protrader since 2004, and in 2019 Frank and the crew at Protrader were kind enough to alter the Protrader Darvas Box scanner and to create my own scanner, which is called Sam's Darvas Box, and it's found here. Okay, now the normal Darvas Box scanner is found here. Right now, first of all, before I get started, I am not being paid for this video. I do not work for Protrader. I'm a private trader. I've been paying Protrader membership fees every month since 2004, and I continue to pay them. Okay, now without further ado, now the normal scanner is here, and let's just click it. Now you can change these settings to whatever you wish. There are some default settings that come with the system. I play around with it, and I usually have 30 in here just because I like to find short-term boxes and stuff. Okay, and so now I'm going to press click here and show you some results just to explain a normal Darvas box. Okay, so the first stock to come up on that scan is Apple. Okay, and so I'm just going to explain how the normal Darvas box scan, is formed. So it's formed by a high being created on this day of $225.74. Now that high is not penetrated higher for at least 3 days as a default setting. You can change that to whatever you want in the system. Okay, then after this high was formed, the price went down and formed a low, okay, of $216.37. Now the price did not penetrate that low for 3 days, okay, after that low was formed, and that's where the bottom of the box is formed, and that's a normal Darvas box. Now the only difference here with the Protrader Darvas box is that you get this little buffer here for your stop loss placement, because quite often the price likes to shake stops out here like it's done here and then carry on in its merry way. So it's a really good addition to the Darvas system. Okay, and this is a standard Darvas box, right? And so now I'm going to run through the difference with the SAM scanner. Okay, so remember, to get to my scanner you go to Sam's Darvas Box scanner, and I've got the same settings here, 30 days. I'm just going to limit the volume settings there, and I'm just going to press scan on that one. Okay, so here are the results with using the Sam's Darvas Box scanner, which is once again located here. Okay, just using all those settings. Now Apple is the first stock that comes up in this scan as well, because the scan finds all normal Darvas boxes. Okay, it just finds a few extra Darvas boxes as well. Okay, so I'm just going to flick to the first example. Okay, so this chart of AUPH on the Nasdaq, but I'm going to do some Nasdaq charts, and then I'll do some ASX charts. Okay, and so this first example on the Nasdaq, I'm just going to zoom in a bit, shows an example of inside bars. Okay, and so let's just have a look at this box all the way back here. Okay, on this day, a high of 6.38 and a low of 5.74 was formed. Okay, and then that high and that low, these three candles all fell within that bar. So the low on this one was 5.79, which is still higher than the 5.74 formed on this first bar. And so these bars are all inside that first bar. Okay, you can call them inside bars if you want. They're not technically, this first bar is an inside bar, and the second one, this one's not technically an inside bar but it is if you're just using this first formation candle as your example. Okay, and so this does not these boxes do not show up on the normal traditional Darvas box scanner, which is found here. Okay, these only show up on the Sam's Darvas box. So the only difference is it finds those inside bars. The reason why I like that is because I think that some of these inside bar Darvas boxes can be some of the most powerful breakouts there are, because I like really tight patterns. I like price that constricts to a very tight range and really tightens up and doesn't have wild swings before the breakout. It's the theory that contractions followed by expansion, and so this is what I like. Now this next Darvas box up here is another example, and so it doesn't actually happen that often. I'd say like 1% of all Darvas boxes this actually happens in. So mainly most of the Darvas boxes found using the Sam's Darvas box scan are just normal Darvas boxes. However, sometimes you do see them. And so this one happened again here. Okay, so this bar here on the 17th of December, the next 3 days were all inside that first day. So we had 3 inside bars in a row. Okay, and that was another inside bar Darvas box, if you want to call it that. And then we had a breakout. So that is one example. I'll just find one more. Okay, so here's one more example on the Nasdaq CLSD. Okay, so on this day we had so that was on the 2nd of December, we had this one big green bar, and then all the other bars, the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bars were all within inside this formation bar. Okay, so and then we had a violent breakout, and this would not show up on the normal Darvas Box Scanner. It's just that all these days are inside bars, which just is something unique to the SAM's Darvas Box Scanner. Okay, they can provide incredibly powerful breakouts. I'm just going to show 2 examples now on the ASX, and then I'll show you also how it happens on weekly charts. Okay, so here's LRC. So this Darvas box was formed here when we had this bar which hit 8.5 and a low of 8.05, and then for the next 3 bars neither the high nor the low of that formation candle were penetrated, and that's when the Darvas box was formed. Now on this day it did penetrate this low, but because the Darvas box had already been formed, it didn't valid, it stuck around, and then we had this really tight range and then a break up. And so I like, this is pretty much a perfect sideways range, and I like the SAM's Darvas box has the ability to find these tight ranges, whereas sometimes a normal Darvas box scanner will not find these super tight ranges, and sometimes I think they're some of the best setups on the market. Okay, here's one more example on the ASX for TPW. On this day, on the formation day of the box, we had a high of 2.7 and a low of 2.42. Now for the next 4 days it did not penetrate the high or the low. After 3 days that box was formed, and then we had 4 inside bars, and then we had a breakout. Okay, and then it was obviously raced away. All right, obviously the stop loss gets placed, there's different places you can place the stop loss. We won't go into that now. However, this is just another example of an inside bar Darvas box. I'm just going to show now 2 examples from weekly charts, and so I'm just going to pause for a second and then I'll flick back to those. Okay, here's a chart of AVN, which is a real estate stock. This is a weekly Darvas box, so all I did to get the weekly one was simply click weekly data here. Okay, I've got it set to 10 week. You can put whatever week you want in there. Now AVN on this week here had a high of 2.34 and a low of 2.21, and the whole Darvas box was formed with inside that formation bar. We had a breakout and it ran away. So once again, just a tight range all inside the formation candle. Okay, the last example is CDA on the ASX. Okay, so now we had back here, I'm just going to try and zoom in a tiny bit more here to just show it because the price has gone up so much. So here's a long-term chart just so you can see. Now we had this Darvas box. This is a normal Darvas box that formed here. Okay, and so this scanner still found this one. So we had this candle, and then the price went below the low of this candle, stuffed around, went sideways, broke up just a little bit, and then formed a new Darvas box here. Now the difference between the second box and this first box, as you're all going to know by now, is that this formation candle here had a high of 3.45 and a low of 3.11, and the next 3 bars did not penetrate the high or the low, so we had inside bars. And that is when this Darvas box gets formed. We actually had 4 inside bars, and then it broke up and just had an incredible run. Okay, now if we look here at this next formation, this is also came up in the SAM's Darvas Box Scanner, because we had this high here of 6.88 with a low of 6.32, and then the next 3 bars did not penetrate the high or the low, and this Darvas box was formed, and then it's had another break and gone for it. So that is the difference between the normal Darvas scanner and the SAM's Darvas scanner, and I hope that was helpful. Take care, everyone.